Yeah, what's up, Ryan?
Hey, Lou,
Yeah.
try 'em.
No, I don't want to.
Come on, Notorious LOU. Show 'em what you're made of.
That's all, folks. That's it. You missed my whole rap. I did it too fast for you to even comprehend. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Looney Duels. Wow. It's been a while. It's been a second. Sorry. This is a podcast that we are doing live this time, which is not the norm, I think.
Nope.
Right? Yes, but if this is somehow your first time tuning in,
Tune?
tune? Ryan, what do we do here?
Fuck am I?
You know, we've been this is episode 37. If you don't know now, I have some serious concerns for your mental well-being. What do we do?
Well, we're freaks and we watch all the Looney Tunes shorts containing the characters who matter. We don't watch all of them. We only watch the ones that we don't not watching. We're not watching the ones like those rats with the big noses. We don't give a shit about them. We watch the ones that matter, and we keep track of their stacks, stats to determine who would be the winner in a Looney Tunes battle royale of sorts.
Ah, yes. See, we take our job very seriously. We make notes. We have charts. You would not believe the charts we have, and we're here today to talk about the movie Space Jam 2. And make no mistake, this is not a movie review. This is a serious discussion about the strengths and weaknesses of the Looney Tunes characters and company in the context of a basketball game. So
Real quick, just before we look into the stats, I just want to say, if you don't know me, if we could step out of the world of this bit for a second, like we just walk out, like enter the real world for a second and out of the Looney Duels world. This is my least favorite movie ever, maybe. Um,
what least ever?
maybe ever. Now I need to stress this because people get pedantic about this. I say least favorite, not worst. Because every time you say your movie's your least favorite, people go like, "What about The Room or the CGI movie I saw on Amazon with a budget of $5? That's worse." I'm like, yes, there's worse movies than this, but this is my least favorite. I don't know. It's hard not to watch this and feel like it's evil. That's my problem with it. It's just hard not to watch this and think this is kind of an evil movie.
Okay. I mean, I agree. It's incredibly evil and gross, but I mean, it's got Bugs Bunny in it,
You know
right?
how many things have Bugs Bunny and I can watch instead?
Yeah, but this is added content. You could add you this is so much content and you can see all Rick and Morty's in this one
They're dead.
and
Did you know that?
Wonder Woman and the Superman is in it. And they make a Game of Thrones reference. Isn't that cool that you can see all your favorite media properties in the movie?
Did you know the version of Rick and Morty in this movie are canonically dead according to the Rick and Morty show?
I do know that because you told me that while we were watching the
In
movie.
a recent episode, the most
With absolute glee in your voice, you told me that Rick and Morty were dead.
in a recent episode, the most recent season, Rick pulls out like two body bags and just goes to Morty like, "It's I killed the version of us from Space Jam, Morty. They wanted to die."
Well,
And now we can sit back in the pit.
now that you've
And
told
I
me
love
how much
Space
you
Jam 2
hate
again.
yeah, now that you've told me that you hated every second of watching we can go back to talking about how we watched this movie for the podcast, right?
Yeah, of course. We can talk stats.
So everybody knows Space Jam is a cultural icon of a movie, untouchable, right? Totally
One
not
of the
aged
all-time
horribly
classics.
and just kind of bad, actually. No, it's cool.
You
So,
know what they say: Godfathers, Jurassic Park, Space Jam, the
yeah,
big three.
exactly. So, Space Jam 2, I don't even know if I would call it a proper sequel. So I don't think we can take into account the things we learned last time when we watched Space Jam 1, right? Like it's almost like a whole nother universe, Space Jam 2.
Space Jam, the original movie in this universe, is almost treated as a movie the characters were in, right?
Yeah, and not like a series of events that really happened.
It's because they know Michael Jordan. They reference Michael Jordan. There's a few like callbacks to the first one. Like, it's not like they go like, "Oh, remember when this happened to us before and we get to fight aliens?" It's more like, "Yeah, that might have happened."
They, like, allude to
Yeah,
it, which is fine. You know what? We have a new protagonist, LeBron, and his son. I forgot the son's name.
I didn't write his son's name down either.
No, it's they say it so much. Is it like Damien? Oh my god, how do we forget
It's
LeBron J
LeBron Jr.
LeBron Jr.? That's not true. That's not true. What is the name of the son? He's like the main character of the
The
movie.
main character of the movie is
Dom! His name's Dom.
first off, you're wrong. The main character of the movie is Gossamer.
You're right, sorry. So
When we talk about LeBron James, this is important for his stats. Video games ruined his life when he was a kid. He was at a basketball game when he was like 8 or something, and this is part of his backstory in this movie. He was playing Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle on his Game Boy, and it made him do bad at real basketball. So when he gets older, he hates video games.
yes, I think we could take this as if LeBron James plays a video game right before engaging in combat or a basketball game, he will just like perform worse. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? It like takes a hit to his stats. It makes them like go down if he plays a video game
He's
before.
like, yeah. When the Switch came out, it ruined LeBron because now he can play all his video games anywhere, and he's playing like Breath of the Wild right before his game, and then his coach is like, "LeBron, you're in," and then he has this like, "Ah!" scream because he realizes like he's been playing Zelda before his basketball game. So write down weakness video games on your LeBron stats.
Yes, and this is a big one for him. I would also say at the start of this, he's not a very good leader, which is a problem because he is the leader of the Looney Tunes, basically, as we go through this basketball game. But
Mm.
that's something he has to learn and grow. He just has to become a better dad, I guess, at the same time. Dom is his son. Dom, we love Dom. I'm going to say his name 100 times so I never forget.
I'll forget.
Dom is a precious little boy who in his room made his own video game, just much like Toby Fox did with
Oh,
Undertale.
can we write down a stat for Dom?
Sure.
Doesn't save.
Oh god, not
we
this again.
we were watching this movie and I got so mad at Dom for he like the game crashes and he's like, I'm gonna lose everything. It's like, did you not save when like you the main thing you do when you make stuff like this, you like save like different iterations like 100 times. And there's stuff like now you might be saying like, right, he's just a baby kid. He does some wild shit later in the movie, like he hacks the game mid-game or something. Like he knows his shit. He's saying some fucking technology nerd words later. He would know
He's
to
like
do this.
8. He's like 8, okay?
I
So
know.
what? He forgot to, do a back his hard drive or whatever. He made a whole ass video game.
Whatever. I don't care.
You're so mean to Dom. Well, Dom, he's made a video game and he is so proud of it. It's a basketball game, but it's a kind of like it's a different kind of basketball game. They have power-ups and, fun characters and
Dom's gonna feel so stupid when he hears about Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
how do you know that wasn't one of his inspos? He looks like a Mario kid. He could have played it. He made this beautiful game. He took inspiration from not only his dad's basketball moves, but also other basketball players who I don't know the names of. But it's great. He's quite the little genius. He's made this beautiful game. It does have a game crashing glitch, a really really bad one where if you just do like a very basic move, it just absolutely destroys the game and erases everything about it. But you know what?
That
Other
will be
than that,
relevant. That will be relevant later.
and you know what? He has big goals. Dom wants to go to E3 game camp.
Can I tell you all? Can I tell you all a fun fact about this movie? This movie came out a month after the last E3 that actually happened. There was
The
no
last ever.
there was no actual E3 after this movie.
What do you think E3 game camp is? Like, what does that mean?
I don't even know it's a real. Is that real? Let me look that up. I don't know
I
if this
feel
movie
like
just
it sounds made up, so I don't know if it's real.
um. It might have
Yeah.
been real, but like, okay, it looks like it was real, but only at that specific last E3 that happened right before it died.
Oh, no. E3 camp. Oh, no.
This movie was the freaking the
Do you
end
think
of
this mo
E3.
I think this movie was, like, low key an advertisement for E3 game camp to try and get kids to sign up so they can save E3?
I don't think it worked.
I don't think it worked
I don't
either.
I don't think anyone saw this people was thinking about E3 game camp. They were probably thinking about Rick and Morty.
So, we got Dom, we got LeBron, they have a little bit of they have some tension, obviously LeBron is, he's fearful of video games because they hurt him so, it's such a hit to him that he struggles to connect with his son. He just wants
Yes.
his son to go to basketball camp. That's fine. Well, they get an offer from I think it's Warner Brothers. They
Mhm.
Warner Brothers is like, "Oh, we have this beautiful AI that like can put you into movies, LeBron. You don't even have to do anything. It'll just like insert you in there. And it's like totally what the kids want nowadays. And LeBron, he's like, no, that's stupid. Bye.
Well,
Like
hold
he
on.
doesn't want to do
I
it.
think you need to talk about the AI itself.
Oh, of course I'm going to talk about the best character in the movie, LG, aka Algorithm, aka Don Cheadle, who's giving everything to this performance. Don Cheadle plays the Algorithm. He's just a guy in a suit, and it. The first time I watched this movie when it came out, I don't think I paid enough attention to Don Cheadle. This time, this is the craziest character I've
Dude,
ever seen.
my theory is he had to be out of that. Like he had one day to record, and he was like, "Lock me in a room with a green screen, and I'll be out like in 3 hours." And they just took all his takes in the movie, and he just like contorted and like became like a monster in like this green screen room, and became like another man for like 3 hours, and then came out again and was normal.
Yeah, Don Cheadle, who I keep like, that's not his character's name. That's the actor. But Mr. Algae, he's just like sinisterly like standing there talking about like LeBron James and how he's going to like make him like they're going to be partners. And he keeps calling LeBron James like the king. And then he calls Dom the prince. Like he's and he seems to have endless control in the serververse, which is I think the thing they're in. So he's just in a bunch of servers basically, and he can take them to different lands. So LeBron James and Dom they get lured into algorithms like lair is like his nest. They
How
get lured in there, and I think that's a powerful skill that Algae has. He really knows how to like manipulate people into doing what he wants or going where he wants, considering he's a bunch of fucking ones and zeros.
I want to ask? Do we
Mhm.
have to reevaluate everything we know about Looney Tunes? Do all the shorts you think, everything we've seen, do they take place in the serververse?
Uh, well, it depends on what you think about the continuity with Space Jam and Space Jam 2. See, Space Jam 1 does it does not fuck around. It does not want to like put a definition on like where Looney Tunes land is. It's just like it's underground, I guess. Whatever. Who cares? You can go through a
And
golf hole.
Michael Jordan lives in 3D world.
It's the 3D land. Yeah, so it's whatever. With Space Jam 2, they have made such a like it is a physical like space in a way. Like it's like they have a bunch of computer towers and crap. And it's like this is the serververse. This is where Bugs Bunny is. So either one or two things happened. Either one, Bugs was, do Looney Tunes and whatever is doing its own thing out in the real world, and then like somebody like snatched them and like put them inside the serververse, or they've just always been there and it's just kind of like there's multiple ways to get to the serververse.
Yeah, because I want to ask, like, Don Cheadle, I mean, Algae Rhythm, um,
Yeah.
he was taken out of the serververse and into combat. Like, would he be? Because when he's in the serververse, obviously he's a power of God beyond belief. But when he's not, like, does he suck a bit? Does he suck a bit shit?
Well, it's the thing is you can't take him out of it. He is it.
Mm.
So he can't come into the real world like at all. Like that's like if he would just not exist in the real world because
So what you're
that's what he
saying
is.
is like during the Looney Tunes battle royale, where they all fall on the island, Porky Pig could just walk over and spill a water cup on him and win.
Basically, like he's a computer. Like he's not real. And inside the computer world verse, whatever, he can literally do anything except for when glitches happen to him, his only weakness. But outside of that, like, yeah, he's just like a piece of hardware. Like, what is he gonna do, really? Well,
Okay.
okay. Now that I say that though, I'm thinking about how later in the movie, or like towards the middle of the movie, he like sucks everyone in through their phones
Oh yeah.
into his world. So maybe he can do some stuff in the real world, kind of, if he has like access to you. If you're around technology, then he can probably do something.
I have a lot of questions with the serververse.
Okay, give me a question. I'm an expert at the serververse. Let me hear it.
Do these characters know? Okay, let me give you an example. They go, they go to they go to like the DC world, right? And
Uh-huh.
Daffy and Porky are there later in the movie. They're kind of fucking around, and then they get in trouble with the superheroes. Do the superheroes like okay? The superheroes just act as superheroes like normally, or do they know their characters? Like, and it's like okay, we're playing these characters even when we're like not in something. Like, how does the serververse work?
So, so, uh, so here's the thing: the serververse is not well thought out. Like, if you think about the serververse for more than 2 seconds, everything about it falls apart because of exactly what you said. Like, is the serververse like the things we're seeing just like containers? Like, this is where all the characters live when they're not in movies and TV shows, or are they the actual like stories happening? And you have a mixture of genres around, right? Like you have Looney Tunes, and they just do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah,
They
because
break the fourth wall all the time. Like they don't give a shit.
it doesn't really matter with Looney Tunes because there's been plenty of things where, like they know they're in a cartoon.
Yeah, but when you go to like a superhero store or even like Game of Thrones, there's like a like the way they describe these, it's like, oh, it's Game of Thrones land, or it's
No, no,
it's
you need to get it right. They call everything world.
yeah, they call it Game of Thrones world. It's like, okay, so if you go to Game of Thrones world, is it like the current Game of Thrones arc playing in real time? Like is there like the red wedding going on? Or is it just all the characters sitting around in like their dressing rooms waiting for the waiting for the cameras to be pointed at them? Because Looney Tunes go into those worlds. Like that's the whole thing is when LeBron James goes into the Toon World, only Bugs is there, and put a pin in that. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
And they have to go like gather the troops, gather all the rest of the Looney Tunes. And all the other Looney Tunes have just like split. They've gone to all sorts of different parts of the world, the worlds. And like they're like Granny and Speedy Gonzales are in the Matrix. Like they're just doing a one-to-one like scene that's in the Matrix. So does that mean that they've just replaced those actors or those characters? Like, did they kill them? Like, where where are they? Are they just like fucking around? Are they just endlessly performing the same movie over and over again? Like, this is why it doesn't fucking make any sense.
you like okay. Is it like are they like in Disney Infinity like Lego Dimension worlds where it's like the ultimate version of that world just all happy at once and they can walk around and get missions from characters or whatever?
I guess that's gotta be what it is, because it's probably just like, "Oh, this is, like, just a fun world to explore and do quests on," and that's it. There's not, like, an ongoing, really, like, overarching story, like, you can't have end of the world stakes because if, like, the end of the world happens, it just, like, gets blipped off the serververse, and then Warner Brothers can't sell, like, merchandise of the show anymore because it doesn't exist anymore, the people don't
I
exist.
just have so many questions about this world that exists because this movie takes place in this world. Everything that happens has happened in the context of this world. But I have so many questions about this world. If we're analyzing it. Like, okay, this is gonna be important later. There's a point in the movie later on where the main villain kidnaps a lot of people, like a lot of people, and like you can see like Batman and Robin and other heroes in the audience, and they're just standing there doing nothing. So like, are they always in heroic mode? Or are they like, well, I'm just Batman the character, so I don't really need to deal with this.
Yeah, this we'll have to get on that. Well, let's talk about LeBron James coming across the saddest Bugs Bunny I've ever seen in my life. So Bugs Bunny, he's alone on Toon World when LeBron James is I guess just what's he like thrown into? He's like dropped onto it somehow.
Yeah,
Algorithm wants LeBron to be his partner, his friend. LeBron's like, no, that's weird. So Algae Rhythm decides he's going to just like hang out with Dom and like kind of convince him to go against his dad. Meanwhile, he's going to send dad to Toon World. LeBron lands there and is immediately brought. He sees Bugs. Bugs is there. Bugs is acting so erratic. he he's shoving costumes onto LeBron and he's like, "Okay, here's your line. You have to do this. Okay, let's do this thing now." And he's just like desperate for attention, like absolutely desperate for attention.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and the reason he's like that is because all the Looney Tunes left. Some point, and I don't know if they ever explained this, like why he does this, like and at what point he did this, or if it was part of a plan or anything. Algae Rhythm just came to Looney Tunes world. It was like, this world sucks shit, doesn't it? You don't want to go somewhere else. And we don't know when he did this. We don't know why he did this. I don't know if this was part of his master plan or if he was just being a dick. And all the Looney Tunes were like, oh yeah, and they all left except Bugs and I guess Marvin. Marvin
Marvin would
apparently
have to do other shit.
Marvin was around. And Bugs is sad because he misses and he calls them this and refers to them as this his family. And that's the whole thing. I think this is the first and maybe only Looney Tunes media to be like, oh, we're a family. Like the same like the Muppets or like the Mickey Gang would call each other family. Bugs Bunny refers to these guys as family in this movie, and
I just don't think that Bugs Bunny cares about half of them.
Bugs Bunny likes like Porky and like Lola.
I think he
Like,
likes Daffy too, but like in a half annoyed, half likes him way.
okay, yeah, he likes like three of them. I don't think he gives a shit what happened to Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, I don't think Bugs Bunny was laying awake at night, like thinking about
Gassima.
Foghorn Leghorn.
I wonder what happened to Gassima.
Yeah, but he's very sad, and it's obvious that like I don't know. I guess Bugs in some way, if he doesn't have anyone to like clown on or like do gags with, he gets kind of sad. He gets kind of like desperate. It's really it's really weird. I guess he's afraid to be alone.
Kind of an interesting arc for him in this movie because that's not really what he's like at all in the shorts. He kind of likes peace and quiet, and he only really starts acting up when people like come at him more than anything.
That's true. Most of the time, he's just like sitting in his home reading or something, and or like doing something else, or like fishing, and then Elmer Fudd has to come around and try and shoot him in the face.
I had to like make up a character trait for like Bugs Bunny and make him like a family guy, like justify like this plot they had. Because otherwise, because like I mean, to be fair, in the first place, if this was like canon, Bugs Bunny wouldn't even need a team to win. But like
No.
they had to like make up all this shit, like make him want to go get the other tunes because they couldn't. I guess like you could probably think of something more creative, like for like Bugs, like why he would want all the tunes together. But you know, they were just like, oh, he's a family man. He loves his family, his Toon family. He loves Foghorn and Sylvester and Gossamer, all his dear friends.
All his BFFs. So Bugs and LeBron go around and they get all the guys. They go to all the stupid worlds. Daffy and Porky are doing shit in Superman world. Granny and Speedy are doing shit in Matrix world. Elmer Fudd is in Austin Powers. I'm forgetting somebody. Yosemite Sam is, I think, in Casablanca. I don't remember, but he's in something. And then we have to talk
wait,
about.
wait. No, we need to talk about something real quick first. They don't show how they get Gossamer.
They don't.
No,
Oh, who
Gossamer
cares?
disappears.
There's. I don't think they show. No, they do. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner are in
Yeah, no,
Mad
they show
Max.
they show everyone but Gossamer how they got him.
Nobody gives a shit about Gossamer. Nobody's
I
gonna point at
care.
their screen and soy face and be like, "Oh my god, it's Gossamer!"
What? No,
Awesome.
think of all the things Gossamer could have been doing. Could have been like in like the Powerpuff Girls or something. I don't know.
Maybe who? You know what? Maybe he was. Maybe maybe there's a deleted scene of Gossamer's like recruiting. I don't know. But I'm here to talk about Lola Bunny. We have so many things to say about Lola Bunny. We do not get to see her very often. In fact, I think we've only ever talked about her in in the previous Space Jam episode. Lola Bunny is in the Wonder Woman world. Okay, whatever. She's
Just
training to become an
girl power.
Amazonian. Yeah, girl power. She's training to become an Amazonian because I guess her whole shtick is that she's like her whole thing in the first movie was just she's good at basketball and she's sexy. And her whole thing in this one is she's still good at basketball, but also she's like a girl boss. So whatever, voiced by Zendaya.
Once we keep
And
going, I'm gonna have some stuff to say about Lola Bunny characterization, but keep going.
yes. So she's asked to like complete a trial of some sort of like obstacle course to become a true Amazonian. Like Wonder Woman's there, she's like, all right, you got to do this. And Bugs and LeBron show up and they're like, oh, we need you to help us with this thing. And she's like, hey, I'm like kind of busy, can you like wait 2 seconds? And they keep like pestering her and like bugging her, and she's just like going through the obstacle and she's just like, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to do this thing. And then they eventually kind of resign to like, oh man, we're not gonna be able to get Lola. And then LeBron's just like, but I need to save my son. And like Lola Bunny stops everything she's doing, turns around and is just kind of like, your son? She
And she does this more than once in the movie. She is really adamant and really like sincere about LeBron's son. Like she cares a lot for some reason. Like not even her old friend Bugs, like just wanting to see her again matters to her. When she hears son, she just like gets really serious. Like and like something happened. Like okay, okay. I just did Lola Bunny have a miscarriage?
Did Lola Bunny like lose a son at some
That's
point
all I can think
in
of.
the
Like
time period between Space Jam 1 and 2? Did she have a son that she lost to some tragedy, and now she's gonna live vicariously through LeBron and help him out with his son
I just
because
can't.
she sympathizes with him?
I just can't imagine any other reason Lola Bunny would care so much about some guy's son. Like she like more than that, like no, most of the other tunes were just kind of here to fuck around. Bugs just wants the other tunes back. Lola is in this for his son.
Every other every other time like they're having a moment, LeBron like has his head down, he's like sitting there and she like puts her hand on his shoulder and she's just like, we'll get your son back, I promise. Like she's so invested, and it's just so funny like juxtaposed next to the other Looney Tunes who just they do not give a fuck, they are
Um,
just absolutely fucking around the entire movie.
Not even Bugs even cares about his
No,
son.
yeah, Bugs does not care about Dom. Nobody cares about Dom except
Granny
Lola
doesn't give a
Bunny.
shit. No, none of the tunes like are a bit more down to earth. Like Porky doesn't give a shit. Granny doesn't give a shit. Bugs doesn't give a shit.
It's
Uh,
very, very funny
I,
that Lola is so invested in this.
I want to talk about why I think this came to be from a development standpoint. I have a theory on this.
Okay.
Lola Bunny is not a funny character. Just get that
No,
out of
you're
the
right.
way. She was not funny in the original. She's not funny in this, and that's a problem. It's like in the first one, she had a gag, quote unquote. It wasn't a funny gag, but she technically had one. She was the girl, and she was sexy, and all the guys drop jaw drooled, eyes pop out. She had a gag to work with, so she could just be there and just be on the team. And obviously that's not gonna fly now. Like making like there's only two girls on the team. They weren't gonna make one of the two girls that. So they
They
had
already
to,
got rid of Pepe Le Pew because of this exact
yeah.
reason.
And so they had to keep, but they wanted to keep her on the team because she's iconic to this quote unquote franchise. So they had to like completely rework her character, and they weren't gonna make her the funny version from Looney Tunes show because that doesn't count. That's not nostalgic. They wanted the girl like original one to an extent. So they weren't gonna make her funny so she could just be on the team and be funny. So they had to like so she couldn't just be there, right? Like she
Yeah.
doesn't work as a character who can just be around and be funny, like I don't know, like Wile E. Coyote or 70. She has to like have a role in the movie. And I think they couldn't think of anything else. So they were like, okay, fuck it. She cares about LeBron's son deeply for some reason.
they had to they had to like make her involved in the plot because there's no way they could have just had her be like one of the other Looney Tunes and like
No.
doing gags in the background. She had to like have dialogue with LeBron and like an emotional arc or something like that. Otherwise, why put her in the movie
Right.
other than just to make her like in the movie?
So she had to. So they came up with this like story where she just is like your son.
You know, I'm looking at my notes here, and I really didn't write a lot for Lola. I don't think Lola does a lot in this movie.
No, she's like, we'll talk about this when we do something later, like talk about the characters of the teams. I think she only scores like a 2 pointer.
She really doesn't do any of the crazy shit that like the other tunes do.
She's kind
They're
of
just
gets out power scaled by everyone else.
yeah, it's kind of sad. Well, the Looney Tunes are back in action, huh? Together again, about to compete in a basketball game. I want to say for the record, I think that there's some very cute, fun animated moments in like the 2D sections. I think it's fun seeing like them do basketball gags. They like are practicing inside the ship and they're doing shit, and it's cute. It's fun. And then they land and get turned into 3D, and then all my fun ends.
Yeah, have a little upgrade there.
It's it's very upsetting. I think that it was talked to hell and back when the movie first came out
Oh, true,
about
Steve.
how off the models look. Do you think them turning 3D does anything to their stats? Does it make them worse or better?
They seem to not like it. When they turned 3D, they all seem to dislike it except Daffy, who's like, I like expensive, but everyone else is like, no, no, this is terrible. Like Foghorn hates it, LeBron hates it, Bugs is terrified of it. Like they all hate becoming 3D. I don't think like it hurts them or weakens them. I just don't think they like it.
Do you think it's like itchy? Like
Me,
it feels like they're wearing like a costume or something?
like I feel bulgy. I don't like it.
Yeah, like maybe it kind of inhibits them in a way. Like it doesn't like hurt them like you said or anything, but it's like like feels uncomfortable. I don't really not
Yeah,
really feeling it.
I would call it a stat downgrade, but like not a major one. They just like hate it. They just don't
It's
like
like
it.
it'd be the like equivalent if they had like an upset tummy on the day of the battle. Like they just don't feel very good.
Do you think
They still-
like their dislike of becoming 3D is like trying to say something on a like metatextual level in this movie, or did they just write that in?
I
Like,
I
you think this movie's trying to say something about like the value of 2D animation or something, or did they just write that in?
I think that you would be giving this movie a lot of credit if it was more it's trying to imply it's more self-aware than it is. I think that there was a lot of great people who worked on this movie, being, like, strong-armed into a lot of decisions, by upper management, and, there is, like, definitely a good movie buried in here that is a lot more meta in a way, like, definitely, like, talking about Looney Tunes relevancy and things like algorithms and things like that, but, it also has to be Space Jam 2, which if you look at Space Jam 1 and everything that it represents, I mean, it just kind of makes sense at this point. I don't I don't know. I do not know what is going on.
Well, I know something. The game starts, and guess who arrives? Everyone in
The
the serververse.
yes, we got the yabba dabba doo.
There's
We got
no cartoon characters past the 70s in the audience.
we got the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant is so fucking excited. Okay, here's the thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, it with the audience is comprised of half residents of the serververse and half real life people from like the real world. And the real life people just kind of get beamed in through their phones and computers and stuff. The serververse people like the algorithms just like all right and here we go and then like a rumbling and like there's like a bunch of characters running from like the other side of the hill just like running over the mountain and Iron Giant is like gleefully running towards the basketball field like court. He's like so excited to be
Oh,
there to watch the
and
basketball
don't forget
game.
who else is here.
Who?
Smallfoot.
Small, Smallfoot, Scooby Doo is in it. A guy wearing a Halloween costume of the Mask is standing in the
Okay,
crowd.
I talked about this earlier, but I need to talk about this. When Algae Rhythm announces that like he's kidnapping people from the real world and beaming them into the audience, you see so many superheroes in the audience, and none of them are doing anything about it. They all just keep cheering. Um, Batman, you fucking dick! Scooby Doo and the Scooby Gang, are you all gonna like be like, hey, this is bad? Is anyway Iron Giant the man of like the giant robot of like empath? Are you gonna do anything? He just kidnapped so many people. Do something.
It's really funny because it's not even so much just that he kidnapped people. He also says he's going to like delete the Looney Tunes if they lose. Like, do they not care?
Why did you not? Could Fred Flintstone not be like, this is kind of a dick move?
Like the like this is kind of fucked up, man.
Could they at least like cut like one of the characters in the audience? Like, oh, this is bad, and we disapprove of it, but we can't help because of the force field. Can you let me know that like Superman isn't just like, oh, that sucks.
Like, do they not like they could have had a little shot of like because yeah, there's a force field around the court so that they can't get in or out. They couldn't at least had like some of the superhero characters like bang on the force field and go like, "No, we're powerless. We can't help."
But like model Scoopy in the audience going, row. It just makes all these characters look so evil. Like it's like they're all just sitting there doing nothing. When Don Cheadle says, "I'm gonna fucking kill Bugs Bunny." Iron Giant, I would never help Bugs Bunny.
I want to talk about the other characters in this movie that we need to have a brief
Oh
discussion
yes,
about
of
because
course.
these are technically new Looney Tunes characters. Okay,
Okay,
the Goon
what a
Squad.
great name.
Let's hear it for the Goon Squad. Yeah, it's the Goon Squad. They don't have a theme song.
What's
The
your
Goon
favorite?
Squad.
What's your favorite of the Goon Squad?
I like the Spider Lady.
Okay, she's pretty cool.
Yes, so in the first Space Jam, they had aliens who stole the basketball powers of basketball players
Nice
and
butt.
became, yeah, they again nice butt, and they became really muscular and tall and all these sorts of things. And so now Dom is on the opposite team with Algae Rhythm, and he's using characters from his game that he has enhanced in different ways. They were based off basketball skills of real basketball players, and plus he's kind of made them freaks. So we have a guy who's made of water and fire. We have a bird guy, we have a snake lady, and we have a spider lady. So, it just seems like a lot of animal animal like hybrids fine. We also have Kronos, who is a metal man who can stop time and like do like funny antics while time is stopped and score like a gazillion like basketball points. They only use him twice.
I'm seeing this in the chat from Seep. Goon Squad versus Monstars. I like looking at the Goon Squad more than the Monstars.
Yeah, if there's anything to give this, I think the Goon Squad is like more fun, I should
There's
say.
a bit more of like the Goon Squad are like look like threats. I hate the Monstars. They just look ugly. I don't like them.
The Monstars are like their main thing that's scary about them is their like brute force,
Hmm?
which fine, whatever. But the Goon Squad have like powers. Like one can fucking stop time. That is like way scarier and worse than like a really tall guy.
Yeah, yeah. You wanna do a little experiment with me?
Experiment?
A little experiment to like talk about the game with.
Sure, of course, because Space Jam is a 2-hour long movie. The first hour is complete setup, and then by the time it hits, an hour into the movie, the rest of the movie is all basketball game for an hour. So yes, we have a lot to talk about. Let's do the experiment.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can see this.
Okay, let me see this. I assume you will be also sharing with the
Yeah,
us.
of course. It's a little tier list I have here of the Toon Squad. Everyone in the Toon Squad. Spoiler alert: Dom joins the Toon Squad later. We'll talk about that later when we get to him. Um,
Mhm.
we don't need all these tiers. I'm gonna get rid of a few. There always be too many. I want to talk about individually how each tune performs.
Okay.
I'm gonna move Wiley because he's actually one of the better ones. I want to start with the best one. Okay, let's start. with our dear friend Roadrunner. How do you think he performed during the game?
Well, so this is the funny thing, right? Is they have the really fast guy, Roadrunner, go up against Kronos, the Goon Squad guy, and Roadrunner beefs it, like, completely. Like, the
Yes.
Kronos beats him, ties him up, and puts him on a plate in front of Wile E. Coyote, to much to the delight of the coyote. But Roadrunner is like, he he's nothing. He didn't do anything. He's nothing compared to Kronos. Kronos of the Goon Squad would kick his ass any day, but he does score some points later, so B.
I guess that, like, he scores points via Wily's machine.
Yes, but he still is, like, a part of that.
I
Like,
think
he's
I think we can even out to a C, maybe.
no, he's a B, come on. A
He
C.
presses
There's
a
worse.
he
There's way worse in the team.
Okay, but consider
Way
this.
less.
All he does is presses a button. Like, Foghorn Leghorn could have walked up and done that.
Yeah, but he didn't. It was
Alright,
Roadrunner.
we'll
It
give
was
him
the specific symbiotic relationship that the Roadrunner and Wily have that granted him the trust to be able to do that.
alright. Yosemite Sam, does he do anything? Did they ever put him in? I'm like,
Yosemite Damn Sam doesn't do shit the entire movie.
I'm like,
I don't think I have a single note written down for him.
like racking my brain right now. Like, do they even put him in? They put Tweety Bird like 3 times.
They hate Yosemite Sam so much they didn't want to put him in.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. I don't think he scores a point. He doesn't even get Looney or something ever.
There's like a moment when they're practicing in the ship where he like shoots. No, that's from the first movie.
No, he
Good
shoots Staffy.
lord.
You're right. You shoot Staffy in this movie.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, but yeah, he doesn't do anything on the court. D, absolute D.
Okay, Speedy's a shocking one. They don't send Speedy in ever either.
Yeah, they have two fast guys. They send in Roadrunner. Roadrunner fucks it up, and they do not send Speedy in. And I'll be honest, I think that Speedy is like way faster than Roadrunner, and they don't even utilize him.
Speedy could have freaking like done so much, and they don't send him in even once. I feel guilty putting him in D, but that's how the movie treats him.
He didn't really do anything.
They got a celebrity to voice him, but he doesn't do anything past like that one scene.
He does a Matrix moment with Granny.
Oh wait, hold on. He saves Tweety. Remember that?
Oh fuck! Wait a minute. Put him up in put him up in S right now. He's a hero.
Save Tweety Bird's life.
Yeah, when they're back on Toon World, what is it that comes down like algae rhythms? Like he like starts like changing the landscape,
Yeah.
and they just like things are falling everywhere. And Tweety Bird is standing there, and he looks so like sad and pathetic, as like unknowingly there's something about to like crush him. And Speedy's like, "Oh my god! Like I have, oh my god, little birdie, I'm coming!" And he like runs to him and like grabs him in his arms and like gets him to safety. I didn't think Speedy cared that much about Tweety Bird.
Now, you know me. I love Gossamer, and he uses his powers in this movie. Gossamer uses his finger power.
Yeah, his iconic finger power that we've definitely discussed before.
He sticks his finger out and absorbs the water.
Yeah, the fucking water fire guy runs up to Gossamer, and Gossamer just sticks a finger out, and he just fucking sucks him in. He's just wet now.
And you know what? I think Gossamer does a lot of blocking too in the background. Like he blocks a lot. I think he's B. I think he's a solid B. He participates.
He could be A, right?
He
He took out a whole guy. He sucked in a whole guy. He fucking got wet for him.
Did you have to order it like that?
Yeah.
Now, I think this picture's
Put him
supposed
to the end of the picture. To the end. We're not ready to talk about. Wait, I thought that was LeBron.
No, it's LeBron's right here. This is supposed to be Elmer, I think.
Okay, Elmer.
Did he get sent in ever?
Go ahead and put him in D. Also, he doesn't do shit.
Oh, it's your man.
Let me just sit up a little straighter here. I actually don't think Foghorn does a lot in this movie.
He squeezes the water from Gossamer and he goes, Gossamer's like the fixer-upper or something.
Yeah, that's true. Put him in B.
What about C? I think C's fair.
C's fine.
He like blocks a lot of the background.
Yeah, he's alright, I guess.
Bugs Bunny, he's the one who encourages everyone to get Looney. So I mean, he's important.
He's S for sure. He
Yeah.
actually does do a lot in the movie too, and also he does basically the winning shot, so I think we have to put him in S.
Lola Bunny, I'm thinking about this right now. I'm thinking about this right now. She scores like a 2 pointer and that's it.
Is that the pose she's doing? No, that's when LeBron is
That's what,
fucking
yeah, that's
scores.
when LeBron is scoring a point.
Yeah, Lola doesn't do a lot. Let's go ahead and put her in C, maybe.
Like when they get Looney, which is when they actually score like millions of points, she doesn't do shit. Like when it matters.
Taz, does Taz do
He
anything
does.
either?
Remember, he like spins the whole world around so they can score a
Oh
point.
shit, you're right. He totally does. He could be in B or A.
I think
He's
hey,
great.
I think he's valuable.
Granny's an S, and Granny's absolutely an S.
Granny, let's talk what Granny does. She walks out on the court, does an awesome move, and then makes Kronos the Time Man age 1,000 years to a dusty old man and gets him out of the game permanently because of it. Granny is insane.
Granny's powers are like we have this is the best she's ever been, and she's already like a top tier Looney Tune. It, I don't know what she's on. Like earlier, we see her doing the Matrix move. It is kind of funny, like whatever. It's like an old lady doing it, but in the game, she's unstoppable. She is untouchable, and she does like a backflip over Kronos and like hits his like time watch thing, and he just starts aging like
He
rapidly.
like turns like dust. I thought he was gonna die the first time I saw this movie. Like Granny was gonna make him like age so fast he died. But no, he just
Like
becomes a very dusty old man.
he becomes a dusty old Kronos, and he can't even play in the game anymore because of it. So we gotta put him up there.
All Sylvester does is get the wrong guy.
Sylvester gets like shot into the air at some point, and they like count it as a point.
They do treat Sylvester like he's one of the main fucking guys in this movie constantly. Like when they first start the game when like they're all walking on, he's part of the fucking squad. When they're like doing like the notorious PIG thing, he's part of the squad. They keep acting like he's part of this.
Yeah, he's the one who finds Michael Jordan.
But he didn't actually do anything, so he
God damn. Okay, notorious PIG right here.
let's make one
Now,
thing clear. That's not Porky. That's notorious PIG.
so Porky doesn't do a lot in the actual like playing of the basketball game, but when they're just fucking around on the court and they end up just getting points for it, he does a totally epic rap battle with I forget who. I think Algorithm. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Okay,
And
well, hold on. How can this thing be honestly be rhythm, but he's still off beat?
yeah, you got that right.
Porky was famous before the internet.
Porky does a really awesome rap battle with him, and it really it gets them a lot of points. If that's the one thing you could say, I guess Porky's good at rapping.
A or B, you think?
I mean, it's a pretty good rap, don't you think?
He is notorious PIG.
Do you think we'll get in trouble if we just play the Notorious B.I.G. right?
Absolutely.
What if we put it really small in the corner? Can
I'll
you
think
do
about
that?
it. I want to talk about Wile E. Coyote so bad. What the
Wile E.
fuck?
Coyote's so good.
Like, okay, genuinely, he scores like 2,000 points in this game.
Yes, he makes a machine that can like clone things or duplicate things, and then he gets sucked into it on accident. But it's actually a good thing because him holding a basketball just like constantly getting flung into the basket, so he just ends up making like endless amounts of points. It's crazy. He does so much for the team.
And then earlier, he also summons a train.
Yeah, he summons a train and somehow by like drawing on a wall or something, and it runs over one of the goon squad guys, and that's how they score some more points. It's insane. Wile E. Coyote is an absolute asset. I was thinking about this because he's such a useful character, not only here but in Lunatics Unleashed. The techie coyote is Wile E. Coyote just like good in every environment except his own.
Maybe he's secretly awesome.
Maybe Wile E. Coyote has a lot to like offer the world, but he's in such a small box He needs to just get out.
The determining factor is if he wins that lawsuit this year.
Yeah, he's gotta win that lawsuit versus Acme. Oh my god, I can't believe that movie is not in my hands right now.
Daffy Duck is the coach.
He doesn't what does he even coach? He doesn't even tell him to do anything. He threatens to trade Sylvester.
Please to see.
That's at least a C.
He technically does more than Yosemite.
He
you know.
does, he does. I'll give him that. Tweety Bird.
Tweety does score a point
Does he win?
when Wile E. Coyote summons the train.
Oh, okay.
He comes out of the duster and he's like, wah!
Oh my god. Sorry, I just read one of my notes. I cannot believe we didn't talk about this. Okay, after the tier list, remind me. I'll get
Okay.
it in
I
there.
think Tweety can go in the middle of B.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Now, LeBron James.
LeBron James. LeBron James has all the fundamentals. he's he's very good at basketball, but he's not good at
Being
Dom's
Looney.
version. Yeah, yeah. Dom's version of basketball, which is this crazy video game, basketball. It's got points and you can jump on a space and jump like really, really high and do spins and crap like that. And there's style points. Like he doesn't have that like in him. He's got that dog in him, he doesn't have it.
Right.
But throughout the movie, with the influence of the Looney Tunes and reconnecting with his son, thanks to Lola Bunny, he's able to let loose and embrace the Looney. In fact, during the rapping scene, he is in the background with his arms folded, nodding along to the beat.
and when they come back for the second half of the game, he makes a funny face.
So I need to find that face.
He goes like, please find that face. Find that. If you find that face, send it. I need to put it on screen.
Yeah, it's so good. So I would say he's an A at least. I mean, he doesn't. He does score. Him and Bugs together score the winning point, but technically, like it wouldn't have happened without Bugs. So I'm gonna put him in A.
I'm gonna say B. I think he doesn't score.
B?
I don't think he scores enough points during the game.
But like he is, but he's a leader of some sort. Like when he starts like respecting the tunes, it turns the game around like completely.
But Bugs leads the squad during that. He's the one who encourages everyone to get loony.
Yeah, but but LeBron is like he made a silly face. What do you mean? Put him in A.
I'm gonna follow my gut here. I'm gonna bounce the list
Oh
out of
my
it.
god.
I think B balances it out a bit because now we got like 3-3, and then we went down.
What is your problem with Dom?
I actually nothing. I just like the feng shui of that. What do you think about Dom?
I think Dom, he comes around because he loves his dad, and Algorithm doesn't have as much of a stronghold on him as he thought he did. Actually, Don Cheadle starts getting really mean to this kid.
Yes, Don Cheadle hates this kid during the second half of this game. He's like, "Oh, you want to play with your friends? You want to play with your dad, you idiot!"
Don Cheadle gets so mad at this 8-year-old. So, but Dom, when he starts out the game, like the first like round of it or whatever, he fucking wins against LeBron James. He wins against his dad. Like he like runs circles around him.
Statistically speaking, he has to be higher than LeBron.
He has to either be higher or equal because LeBron does eventually beat him, and Dom doesn't really do much for the team.
That's
after the
true.
fact.
He doesn't do much on the Toon squad. I think they can both be in B, but he's higher.
Okay, got it. That this is a great list we've made. Really good, everybody. Just take a look at this one, okay? Yeah, go ahead and download that.
I'll need it later.
It's a surprise for later.
All right, I think that's a good ranking of everyone like game game during the game. Now you said there was something you want to talk about after we did
Yes.
that.
So I was looking at my notes, and I just remembered something. When they get back to Toon World, somebody asks, "Hey, where's Tweety?" And
Hmm.
somebody hits Sylvester, and Sylvester spits up Tweety Bird.
Yes.
And I wrote in my notes, Sylvester succeeded at some point.
Yeah. Some point in this timeline, he's going to win.
He's going to eat Tweety Bird and hold him in his mouth. That's crazy to me. I just That means Sylvester can do it. It's not it's possible. He can do it.
We're going to know at some point. He's gonna get that fucking bird. It's just a matter of when. It's kind of weird. It's like when like you learned Finn and Jake died, and like you watch anything before that. I had to like live with the fact like we know how these characters die. How you know you have to live with that now. Every time we watch Sylvester and Tweety going forward, we're like, we have to live with that. He's gonna get that fucking bird.
I found the LeBron James.
Oh, thank God! Please send it so I can put it on
Hold
screen.
on, I have to get it. I have to get it from a video.
We going Looney?
This was his face.
I'm so excited to see it when you send it.
It's really, it's really good. I'm gonna put voice text. Hold on. There it is. Please put it on the screen.
Let me. I'm gonna put it on screen and I'm gonna say something about it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let me get it on screen. This picture's like the teacher's like, all right, everyone, make a silly face, and everyone makes a silly face. That's like,
Do you think they just like were like, okay, that take was good, LeBron. Like we've been here for 6 hours. We gotta go.
he's like, I can make a sillier one if you want. I could be Looney, guys. I can make a sillier one.
Looney too. God Lord. I think what's funny about it to me the most is like how he's yeah, when he makes the face, he's standing straight and then it's like Looney time and he just like puts his his head forward and makes it like no other body movement at all. Seems said he looks like he's watching the deli mess up his order, but he doesn't want to say anything.
Slathering that shit with mayonnaise and he didn't ask for it.
Oh my god. Oh, so whew, let's see. Who have we not talked about? I think we've touched on everybody.
Yeah, we talked about everyone's performance during the games.
Yes. So of course they win. Uh
Yes.
LeBron James does a really good big jump and it's helped because Bugs Bunny performs the move that Dom knows breaks the game. Originally, LeBron was going to do sacrifice himself and make do the move because the move made the original character get deleted. So obviously, it's going to happen again, but it's the only way because Algae Rhythm has just totally taken over the game at this point. Is like just straight up cheating. So they glitch the game. Bugs Bunny is lying in everyone's arms. He's about to die, and LeBron James and his family they go home. They get teleported home.
Remember what Bug says? He's like, I do anything for my family. His family. His family of Gossamer and Yosemite Sam.
Do you think they were trying to like make like Bugs and LeBron have like a arc together, like
I
they're
think.
there for their family, I guess,
Yeah.
because that's the whole thing. LeBron is like, I love my family, I love them so much, I love my son Dom. Like his wife and their other kids are like in the audience during the movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So flash forward. Sorry, I just saw someone say Jabberjaw in the background.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah, Jabberjaw's there. Flash forward to, I guess, a few weeks later. You know, I guess whatever that happened. It's time for Dom to go to basketball camp. But wait, they're not going to basketball camp. They're
what?
they're going to E3 game camp.
Yes.
So we see that Dom is going to E3 game camp, all's well that ends well. And as LeBron walks away, he hears a familiar voice and he turns around, and Bugs Bunny is in the real world for some reason. Alive and well.
You want to talk about what he says to LeBron?
Why don't you tell me?
Bugs Bunny turns to LeBron James and he says, "Oh, I'm a Toon Mac. I can't die." What does that mean?
That means that he went through the entire just like dramatic death scene knowing full well he was going to be fine and didn't tell LeBron that he was fine for weeks. So the whole time LeBron James thought his new friend Bugs Bunny was actually dead.
I There's a lot to take in with Bugs Bunny "I can't die" statement.
Does that mean the rest of the tunes there's just no death now? Like I guess that makes sense, right?
I guess so. How did he get to the real world? Also, can anyone leave the serververse?
That's the question. This is why the serververse doesn't make any fucking sense. You should have just kept it like a hole in the ground.
Could the Joker? Could the Joker from Batman leave the serververse, come to our world, and kill so many people?
Could like the dragon from Game of Thrones show up, just like wreak havoc on a city, and then go back into the server?
Could the Lich of Adventure Time come out of the Adventure Time world and just super murder the entire planet?
I guess, but then it also like in the credits, it shows pictures of like all the other Looney Tunes like in the real world, like they all decided to come vacation. I guess it doesn't matter. Who cares? They're Looney Tunes. They can do whatever the fuck they
For the
want.
Looney Tunes, it doesn't matter because, like, when Elmer Fudd gets to the real world, who gives a shit? When like fucking like Black Adam comes to our world and starts shattering the ground, then it's a problem. That's the sequel.
Lord have mercy. Well, I think what we've kind of established now that Wiley is more powerful than we give him credit for, as backed up by this movie. And we have a few new little skills. Porky can rap. Gossamer has his water absorb power, and Granny can do anything she wants,
Uh, Bugs
basically.
Bugs Bunny can die, but not really.
Yeah, so he can't die, which just further confirms the God theory, I guess. Whatever. Space Jam 2. What a great movie. What a cool movie.
It means Rain Dog could be real. Can you imagine?
Where does Rain Dog live alone on the multiverse world because everybody else just goes home after the game is done? That's what Rain Dog. Is there a multiverses world where Rain Dog just sits in a little shack of a house and waits for people to show up so they can clock into their 9 to 5 multiverse job and then go back home to fucking Rick and Morty land or whatever?
Rain Dog has the same arc Bugs Bunny does in this movie.
God.
Just go to all the worlds and get all his friends back.
We learned a lot today. We learned so much today. In fact, I'm a little afraid of the things we discovered and uncovered today.
We want to take a few chat questions real quick.
Yeah, let's take some questions. Space Jam 2 related only, please.
Yeah, don't ask questions about the movie you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Fucking hate this stupid movie.
I do not hate this movie. Yes, we did talk about how the Rick and Morty from this movie are canon dead.
Brought that up. Don't worry. I made sure everyone knew. To make sure there was no like doubt.
Oh yes, absolutely. They are no more. Let's see. Let's see.
Big chat's catching up. You got a question?
I know, like, so how did Bugs escape the serververse? That is a great question because I just assumed that after Algae Rhythm kidnapped a lot of people and forced them into the digital world, that they wouldn't keep the serververse running. You think maybe that's what that's it. That's how they all got out. Is that Algae Rhythm fucking kidnapped people and caused a lot of trouble for Warner Brothers, so they're like, "We have to shut the serververse down." Bugs Bunny heard that the serververse was getting shut down, and being, the fourth wall breaking character that he is, went to all his Toon friends and was like, "Guys, we gotta get the fuck out of here." They all jumped out of the serververse because they're the only characters that can.
Okay, then
Everybody else
now
died.
thousands of other beloved characters are dead though.
Oh yeah, but the Looney Tunes are okay.
Besides characters already on the team, who from Multiverses would be the best Toon Squad edition?
Toon Squad edition?
I guess Jake the dog would be pretty good because he can stretch good.
I guess.
Who else is in that
That
fucking game? I don't care. Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. Oh my god, Tom and Jerry. Put Tom and Jerry on the Toon Squad. They could do it. They could win. Somebody says, "What Space Jam 2 tune would you put in multiverse?" I would put Speedy Gonzales.
I like
Absolutely.
I like this question. Why do you think things didn't work out between Lola and Bugs? It's the miscarriage, isn't it? That's a loaded question for a lot of reasons. Um, you think was Bugs the one packing the heat for the miscarriage?
My god. So, I think that Lola and Bugs had a nice little fling with each other after the events of Space Jam, but I just think they wanted two different things. Lola wanted to start a family, and Bugs wasn't ready for that. So she went off on her own, settled down a little bit, had a child. And then, she lost a child, and Bugs really wasn't there for her during that. Her friend really wasn't there. He wasn't reaching out to her, seeing how she was doing okay, all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's why I think it just didn't work out.
Who was packing the heat the heat for the baby?
I'm not answering that question. Somebody said, "Do you think this movie implies Roadrunner could be stopped if Wile E. Coyote invests in time manipulation?"
You find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that he probably could, but he's not Kronos, the metal man with time powers on the Goon Squad, so he's not gonna do it.
Exactly. Uh, she wanted kids and I wasn't ready. Is Bugs Bunny saying that?
Yes, Bugs Bunny's saying that. Oh yeah, Marvin the Martian, we needed to mention. He was there for the movie, but he gets like crushed under a ship for majority of it, so he's really not in it. I think he would have done a lot better than some of these other guys on the field.
I mean, they had to have cut this guy from the movie or something. I remember this movie was coming out. They made so many fucking toys of him.
Yeah, they did. There's like Marvin the Martian Space Jam 2 toys. I had one. I have one, I think, still.
That silly happened. He was supposed to be in this movie more. They fucked up.
Yes, they definitely did.
Uh,
Let's see.
what if Pickle Rick jumped on the ball when it was flying in the air? That'd be really
Really
awesome.
cool. In the final battle, who do you think is lasting longer, LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Ooh. So, honestly, probably LeBron James, and I'll tell you why. LeBron seems to be having a lot more fun with the tunes than Michael Jordan ever did.
Michael Jordan doesn't give a shit about the tunes. LeBron is Bugs Bunny's new best friend.
Well, any other questions?
I like this last one here. Do you think Cool Cat would rap with Notorious P.I.G.?
You know what? Cool cat absolutely would. Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for coming in.
It's a great discussion of my favorite movie ever.
Was it?
You like stopped after I said that to like take it in.
I really did.
Well, I think that's all, folks.
Yes, that's all, folks. Thank you. See you next time. Okay, good. We'll talk about regular Looney Tunes again. I promise.
I'm a cartoon.
Bye.